Good morning, students. Welcome to class on Wednesday, the 3rd. Hope you guys are ready to work on some homework today. No notes, so I can hear the cheers now all the way across the city, all the way to my house, so you guys are screaming and yelling. No notes today, so that'll be a nice break for you guys. However, we do have to work on homework. Please listen to me carefully. I will give you 2 bonus points in your bonus point account if you do the whole assignment. Now, you might finish it in class. You might finish it later on today during English class, and of course I'm kidding about that, don't do that, but you might finish the assignment tonight. That's up to you, but if you'll finish the assignment and turn it in tomorrow, all of it complete, then give yourself 2 bonus points. We will have a quiz on Friday. I will explain more about that on Thursday. I have talked to Mr. Harmon via the internet. He told me that none of you are going on the Nationals trip, so that's good, but there will be a senior trip. And so you guys will be watching daily videos on your senior trip, okay? So you 3 seniors need to know that. I'm just kidding, actually. We're not going to do that to you, so you can relax. If Megan just passed out, you can kind of resuscitate her there, but we're not going to do that. But I'm not sure yet how we're going to handle that for you, Tara. I'm still kind of working on that. There will be a quiz on Friday. We'll go over that on Thursday, and we're going to do homework this entire class hour. So if you'll finish the entire assignment, I'll give you 2 bonus points. It is a Wednesday night, so if you choose not to finish it, just turn in tomorrow what you did finish or what you did complete, and you will get a 100 for whatever you did. Here is the assignment, so please copy this down while I'm talking. The rest of this video is a help video. So you're welcome to pause it and just work on homework, and then when you get stuck, you can actually fast forward it to the problem you're on, or you can just watch the video through. I don't care. You know by now, if you're copying my steps and not really understanding it, you're just putting off the dilemma later of not knowing what you're doing, so that's up to you. Page 488, 17 through 19, 24 through 31, 36 through 4. That's a total of what? 3 problems here, 8 problems here, and 6 problems here. So 17 problems altogether. All right. So my philosophy is I go fast because you can always pause it and you can always rewind it. So here we go. Number 17. 17, 18, and 19, they're asking you to find the surface area of the prism. This is a little faded here, so I'm going to go over this edge here. This is a 10 right here. You can look in your book, of course. I had forgotten that. So because this is in your book, I'm just going to go ahead and you guys can look at the numbers there. So let's go ahead and find the surface area. You should realize right away we have a rectangular prism. We have 6 faces. So to find the surface area, we're going to find the surface area of each face. So we have a top and a bottom. We have a right and a left. And we have a front and we have a back. Okay, I'm not trying to get the Penmanship of the Year award. I'm trying to go for speed here. So I'm going to outline the top for you. Here's the top. There's the top face. That's a rectangle. And of course, if this is 9 down here, then this is a 9 up here. If this is a 10 right here, then this is a 10 up here. So 9 times 10, the area of the rectangle for the top is 90. And of course, we have a rectangular prism, so the bottom would also be 90. They're identical. Okay? Get some help on that from a friend or back it up if you need to. Now let's continue on. Let's take a look at the right side. Here's the right side. I'm going to highlight it for you. That's a rectangle. And of course, we have a length of 9 and a width of 6. So the area of the right side will be 54. And of course, then the left side would also be 54 because they're the same. They're the same. And that's not always true in all figures, but for this one it is. A rectangular prism is probably the easiest surface area to find when it comes to prisms. Okay, the front, let me outline the front for you. Here's the front face of this rectangular prism. And obviously we have a length of 10, but we don't know this width or the height, whatever you want to call it. But look, if this is 6 right here, then we know this has to be 6 here also. So my area of the front would be 60. The area of the back would also be 60. So now I found the area of every side. Let's go ahead and add up all these sides. We would have an 8 here. Let's see, 18, 28, 38, 40, I believe. Did that quickly in my head, but I think that's right. 22, 31, 40. Yes. So the answer is 408 square feet. That's called the surface area. 408 square feet. Let's take a look at number 18. number 18. Now students, this is a cube, and how do I know that? Please don't, I'm going to make this problem is so easy. I stand corrected. I said the rectangular prism is probably the easiest to find. This cube would be the easiest to find the surface area of. I mean, look, we have a measurement of 4 here. We know this is a 4 right here because this back here is a 4. And this is a 4. So all the edges measure 4, 4, and 4. So all of the areas are going to be the same. Look, I'm going to put FR for front, BA for back, R for right, L for left. There's top, and then BO for bottom. Well, look, I mean, the front is this right here, 4 times 4. It's going to be 16 and 16 front and back. Look at the right and left. It's going to be 4 by 4. It's going to be 16 and 16. Look at the top. Here's the top right here. Here's the top of it right here. Well, that's also, I mean, if this is a 4 down here, then this is a 4 up here. If this is a 4 right here, then this is a 4 right here. It'd also be a 16 and a 16 for the bottom. So every single face has an area of 16, and you have 6 faces. So if you add all these up, you're going to get 96. So the surface area is 96 square inches. That was pretty easy. Let's take a look at number 19. Now this one will be a little more difficult, so please bear with me and please pay attention, okay? I'm going to start off with the top and the bottom. Top and the bottom, okay? That's very important that we do that so we can make sure that this thing is so we can understand which sides are top and bottom. So I'm going to outline the top for you. There it is. Everybody see it okay? There's the top and there's the bottom. Notice they are the same. They are parallel to each other and they are congruent. We also call those two sides the bases. They are the bases, okay? So let's go ahead and find the area excuse me, of these two faces. Now, notice there's a right angle symbol right here. Everybody see that? So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to draw this triangle. I know it looks a little distorted up there. It kind of looks like this. Like the triangle kind of looks like this. So there would be a right angle, but it looks like that because they're trying to give you depth perception right here. Really what the triangle looks like, if you were to copy this triangle, it'd come across and then up and then down, and there's your right angle, okay? Now, see this 10 right here, students? Everybody see that 10? Well, that 10 would go right here, right? See this 6 right here? Well, that would go right here too. There's a 6 right there, so I would put a 6 right here. And then see this length right here is an 8, so that means this length right here is an 8, so this is an 8. There we go. And now, we know how to find the area of a triangle. It's 1/2 base times height, so 1/2 base, which is 6, times the height of the triangle, which is 8, which would give me 24. So if the top has an area of 24, then the bottom also has an area of 24. So there we go. Okay, take your time, rewind it, listen to it again, whatever you got to do to get it. But that's the top and the bottom. Now let's continue on. We don't really have a front. Do you see how the front of this comes to a point right here? There's really no front face. Now we have a right and a left. Let's go ahead and look at those next. We have a right side and a left side. I'll go ahead and highlight those for you. Here's the right side. Everybody see that? There's the right side. It's a rectangle. It's a 7 by 8. 7 by 8, so the area would be 56, length times width. Now let's go ahead and highlight, while we're at it, let's go ahead and highlight the left side. So here's the left side right here. Right, there's the left side. And that's a 6 by, I don't know. I don't know what this length is right here going up. Well, I do actually, because this length right here is 7, so this length has to be 7. So the area of this left side would be 42. 6 times 7, length times width. And now lastly, well, let me stop. So far we've had what? Top, bottom, right, left. There is no front, but I do have a back side, okay? And so let me put back. And I'm going to highlight it in red for you. Here's the back side right here. It goes like this, then across the dotted line, across the top, and then down like that. That's the back side. It's a rectangle. Well, let's see. Here's the length going across. That's 10. Here's the width going down, or the height, whatever. That's 7. So the area of the back side would be 70. Look at that. We are cruising right along. All right. So with that in mind, let's finish this problem. 8, 14, 6, carry 1, 10, 14, 21. Let's check it and make sure I'm right. 16, 8, 12, 17, 21. So the answer is 216 square meters. Okay? So there we go. That is the surface area of number 19. All right, let's continue on to number 24. Number 24, we're going to find the surface area of this cylinder. Now, I gave you a formula, and here's the formula. Surface area equals 2 pi r squared, okay, plus, and I'm going from memory, so give your old teacher here a chance to think. Let's see, it was 2 pi r h, all right? Now these letters here, pi r h, they might have been turned around to pi h r, but that's still the idea. So let's go ahead and let's make our substitutions. So 2 parentheses 3.14, and then radius squared, the radius is 6, so 6 squared, and then 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 6, times the height, which is 11. All right? Now check all your substitutions. Make sure you've done them correctly. See if you have any questions. Now I would recommend that you type this into your calculator first. Be careful. Use parentheses. Make sure the exponent's on the outside. If you don't like to type everything in at once, then maybe take 6 squared first. We all know that 6 times 6 is 36. And then take 36 times 3.14 times 2. And if you do that correctly, you should get, let's see, I had it written here somewhere. Let's see. You should get 226.08. And now, if you type this in correctly right here, you should get 414.48. All right? And then if you add these two together like you're supposed to do, you'll get 640.56. Now, the only problem with that is the directions say to round to the nearest whole number. That means you don't want this decimal part over here. So we look at this number right here that's right after the decimal place, this tenths place. And if it's a 5 or higher, we're going to round this number up. If it's not, we're going to leave it alone. So it is a 5, so our final answer is going to be 641. And of course, it's surface area, which means square units, so square feet. All right? And that's number 24. Let's take a look at number 25. Once again, we're finding the surface area. So let me see if I can save us some time here and just go ahead and cut and paste this thing from now on. All right, there we go. All right. Now let's go ahead and make our substitutions. Be careful here, though, students. Let me show you one thing real quick. Do you see how they don't give you the radius? They give you the diameter. Everybody see that? The diameter is 6 all the way across. Do you see that? So we want the radius. So don't forget, the radius is going to be 3, half of 6. Okay, so don't use 6. Use 3 for your radius. All right, let's make our substitutions. So 2 times 3.14. 3 squared, because radius is 3, plus 2, and then parentheses, 3.14, and then times the radius, which is 3, times the height, which is 13. So there's our substitutions. Okay, make sure you've made the correct substitutions. And 2 times 3.14 times 3 squared would be 56.52. So 56.52 plus, And then if you multiply 2 times 3.14 times 3 times 13, you'll get 244.92. And if you add those two together, you will get 301.44. And so you look at this number right here to the right of the decimal, this digit right here, it's a 4. So we're not going to round this 1 up to a 2. We're just going to leave it 301 square meters. So there's our answer. Okay, let's move on now to number 26. Now you of course do what you want to, whatever helps you, students, but I'm going to do this, and maybe you want to pick up your book and do this. I'm going to turn this, at least I'm going to try to. Let's turn it the other way so our dotted part is on the bottom. Wow, this is like an amusement park. Alright, I'm getting dizzy. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and do just a real quick white out here. I think that would help us. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to write all these in just a second. So for me personally, students, I think it helps you to turn the cylinder upright so it's setting on its circular bases, okay? That's my opinion, and that's how I'm going to do it, okay? You can turn your book if you need to. So we know the height is 8, so I'm going to go ahead and put an 8 right here for the height. Probably can't see it very well, but there it is. And then my radius is an 8, so I'm going to put an 8 right here, all right? And of course, this is number 26. All right, let's very quickly find the surface area. So here we go. I have 2 times 3.14 times r squared, which is 8 squared, plus 2, and then 3.14 for my pi, times my radius, times my height. All right, make sure you've made your substitutions correctly, and then let's break out the calculators and let's type these numbers in. If you type this first group of numbers in correctly, 8 times 8 is 64. 64 times 3.14 times 2 should give you 401.92. And then it's kind of a coincidence, if you type these into your calculator correctly, you actually get out the same thing. Now that's always going to happen when your radius, right here, matches your height. And in this case, the radius and the height are both 8. All right, well, if we add those two together, we will get this number right here, 803.84. And of course, see this 8 right here, the digit to the right of the decimal? That's going to tell you to round this 3 up to a 4. They want you to round to the nearest whole numbers, and we are dealing with centimeters, so it's 804 centimeters squared is the surface area. All right, let's continue on to number 27. Find the surface area of the solid. That's what the directions say. So very quickly, I'm going to go ahead and hit paste here, and there's my formula. And let me go ahead and do this so you can see the formula. I think I can shrink it a little bit without giving the answer away. Yeah, there we go. And when you see white out like you see right here, that's because the answer was given in the book, so I wanted to white that out, okay? All right, and then we'll see if we can't pull this 2 out of the way also. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and let's use our formula. Let's find the surface area of this drum. Looks like a drum to me. All right, here we go. So 2 times 3.14 times my radius squared. My radius is 5, plus 2 times 3.14 times my radius times my height. Make sure all of your substitutions are correct, and then break out your calculators. Let's type all of this in. According to my calculations, if you typed in this incorrectly, 5 squared is 25 times 3.114 times 2, you're going to get 157. And if you typed in these numbers here correctly, multiplied them correctly, you will get 219.8. And if you combine those two numbers, add them together, you will get 367.8. And of course, or 300, excuse me, I'm a little dyslexic today, sorry about that, 376.8. And of course, this 8 means to round the 6 up, so 377 square inches is the surface area. Let's continue on with this wonderful exciting assignment. Let's take a look now at number 28. Let's find the surface area of a cube with 16 millimeter sides. Now students, please understand, let me go to red here, that means this edge here is 16, and this edge here is 16, and this edge going backwards is 16. All of the edges are 16. So when you go to find the top and the bottom and the right and the left and the front and the back, each face is going to have the same area. Like the top right here is going to be a rectangle or a square 16 times 16. And so students, all of the areas are going to be the same. I mean, I guess I could try to draw it real big for you, and I'm not being impatient. I don't mind doing that. If I was there in class, I would do whatever you would need me to do to help you see this. But here's the cube. All of the edges, let me change colors here. All the edges are going to be 16, 16, 16. So when you go to find the area of the front, we're simply going to have 16 times 16, which is 256. So I said front, I meant the top. So the area of the top is 256. That's 16 times 16. The bottom is going to be 256. That's 16 times 16. The right side is going to be 256. That's 16 times 16. The left side is going to be 16 times 16, 256. The front is going to be 256, and the back is also going to be 256. Okay, 16 times 16. So really you're taking 256. You could add them all up or just very quickly multiply it by 6 because you have 6 of these right here. And if you multiply correctly, you will get 1,536. So when you add up all 6 areas, you will get 1,536 millimeters squared. And there's the surface area of a cube. Looks like a dice. All right, let's take a look now at number 29. Now number 29 is a little weird shaped, I understand that, but if you'll really focus here and pay attention, I think I can help you. I wonder if I can try something here. I don't know if I can stretch this thing. I don't think I can. That's not helping a whole lot, is it? Just showing you what the answer is. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and try to draw this off to the side for you. Hopefully you can see this in your notes okay. Okay, and I think I just said hopefully you can see this in your notes. What I meant to say is hopefully you can see this in your book. And here's what it basically is real quick, students. Like having a triangle like this, and then a triangle like this, and then connect these corners like that. Wow, that's really rich, isn't it? Well, anyways, now you can see why Mr. Lemon teaches art class and not Mr. Earhart. But anyways, hey, I'm doing a video here, so be quiet, please, Josh. Thank you. So anyways, what we're going to do here is, I hope you can see this is a really hard problem. But okay, students, let's try this problem again. I know that you don't know this, but I paused the video and I've been gone for about an hour. About an hour now. One of my kids got into a little trouble. Had to deal with it. They've been hanging out with Joey Harmon's kids too much, I guess. So, no, I'm kidding. All right, here we go. So let's take a look here at this problem. Let's just start all over. I want to say at the beginning that this is a pretty tough problem, and some of you are going to get it, some of you aren't. This is a Track 2 math class. I doubt seriously if I'd give you one like this on a test or a quiz. The math is not hard. It's visualizing what this thing looks like on the back side that you can't see, or on the left side or the right side. And I wish I had artistic skills. I don't at all, not even slightly. And so because of this, I really can't draw it off to the side with a 3D, look to it and all of that. So here's all I'm going to say. Take some notes, watch. Some will get it, some won't, and that's okay. All right? Okay. We have a top side right here. It's like a triangle. There we go. And we have a bottom side down here. If it was glass and you could see through it, it would look like this. Now, you guys have not been taught this yet, but let me show you something that's really cool. We don't have to find the area of the top and bottom. And you're like, really? Yeah, because they gave it to you. You've not been taught yet, but whenever you see a capital B like this, everybody see that capital B? Whenever you see a capital B, that means area of the base. And so they're telling you they found the area of this triangle for you already. Isn't that cool? Isn't that very nice of them? So you know the area of the base is 3, and if the area of the base is 3, then the area of the top is also 3. So we'll go ahead and put a 3 and a 3. Now that's pretty helpful, okay? So you did not know that, now you know it, and let's continue on. Now, I'm going to outline the left side for you. So here's the left side. It comes down, over, and up. Oh, wow, that was not very good, was it? Well, you get the idea. Down, over, over, and down. So, now, going across here, that's this 2.7. You might not be able to understand what that red line means. So going across right here is 2.7, and going up is 18. So the way you would find the area of this rectangular left side, we're going to put left for equals, is you would take 2.7 times 18, and you would get 48.6. Now, students, can I show you something here? And again, some of you will get this and some of you won't. And that's no slam. That's okay. Not everyone's gifted in science or math or history or Bible or English or whatever. Okay? Now, please watch this carefully. Do you see how there's 3 red lines coming down like this? 1, 2, 3. See that in your book? What that's saying to you is this length right here is 2.7. This length right here is 2.7. And this length back here is 2.7. Okay? So all of these rectangles, the left side, even the right side, let me outline the right side for you. Even the right side here, this rectangle, it's also going to have an area of 48.6 because it's 2.7 times 18. And I'm going to try to outline the back side even though you can't see it. It's kind of like a mirror if you could see through it. The back side would be, it would come across like that. And then come across the back here, and then down like this, and then down like this. What I'm trying to show you is that rectangular shape in the back would also be 2.7 across and 18 up and down. Now just trust me, that's how it would be. I know it's not easy to see, and some do and some don't, and that's fine. No shame in that. So the left side, the right side, and the back side are all going to be 48.6. All right? So if you add all of those up, we should get what? 8, carry your 1, 7, 15, 20, 31, carry your 3, 151.8. So we round to the nearest whole number, 152 square inches. All right, pretty tough problem. Let's continue on. Let's take a look at number 30. Okay, well, here we go. They want us to find the surface area of this cylinder. It's got a height of 1 and a diameter of 3. Do you see that? All the way across is 3. So the radius, let's go ahead and draw the radius. The radius is going to be half of that, so the radius is 1.5. Well, we really should know by now how to find the, oops, that's not right. Some e-bang I was doing a little bit ago. There we go. The formula would be this right here. Surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So let's fill this in and let's find the surface area. 2 times 3.14 times the radius squared, that'd be 1.5 squared, plus 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 1.5, times the height, which is 1. See the height right here? The height going up and down right here is 1. All right? So let's go ahead and check your substitutions there, make sure they're accurate, and let's go ahead and break out the calculators, and let's type these into our calculators. Now, for this section right here, if you typed it in correctly, you should get out 14.13 plus, And if you typed this in correctly, you should get out 9.42. All right, if not, please check it and make sure you're doing it right. If you add those together, you will get out 23.55. Now, students, you want to round that to the nearest whole number, so your answer is going to be 24 square inches. 24 square inches. All right, moving on to number 31. We are going to find, well, this will be really tough, and I'm not so sure we want to tackle this one now. Let's take a look at it here. Well, we'll give it a shot and we'll see how we do here. Now, first of all, we're going to find the surface area of this prism. Now, I would like to take my red marker here and outline the top. So here's the top. Looks like we have a hexagon here. All right, there we go, hexagon. And notice they once again have taken care of us. Let's go back 2 problems. Remember what I taught you here? Whenever you have a capital B like that, they're telling you that the whole area of the whole base is this number. They've already found it for you. They're being helpful. So we know the top and the bottom are going to be identical. Now I know it's a little bit of an overlap here. It's like a lid, but we're not getting that picky. So the bottom would kind of look like that. And if you hear some noise in the background, just my children are playing games and stuff, so no big deal there. But anyways, the top and the bottom will look the same, and they've already told you what the area is. So let's go ahead and put top and bottom. And the top area is going to be 260. Do you see how they've given that to you right there already? We already know the area of the top because they gave it to us. Well, I didn't mean to uncover the answer, but that's not a big deal. And the bottom is going to be 260 also. So we know the area of the top. We know the area of the bottom. Now we just got to find the area of these rectangles. Like here's a rectangle here. Here's a rectangle right here. Do you see these rectangles? Here's a rectangle here. Coming down, coming over, coming across. Now here's what's really cool about these rectangles. Do you see how this length is 10 right here? Do you see that? And notice all these red marks are saying they're all the same. So all of these rectangles are going to be 10 going across. And then see the height right here, 11? They're all going to have a height of 11. So all of these rectangles are going to be 10 by 11. 10 going across, 11 going up and down. 10 going across, 11 going up and down. All of these rectangles are going to be the same. So the question we have to ask ourselves is how many of these rectangles do we have? Well, think about it. We have 3 here in the front. And if it was a see-through object, I think we'd see we have another one back here. And then another one back here. And then one, of course, right here. And so there's going to be 6. Let me erase this real quick. There's going to be 6 of these rectangles right here going all the way around. And if you have a hard time seeing that, just look at these edges. There's the top of a rectangle, 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 and there's the top of a rectangle. So what is the area? I'm going to change colors here to blue and highlight this rectangle in blue. What is the area of this rectangle right here in blue? Well, let's see. Going across, we know it's a length or a measurement of 10. Going down, we know is a measurement of 11, which is this height right over here. So the area of this rectangle is 110. Okay, 110. So what that means is I have 6 sides. I'm going to go ahead and put 6 sides. I should use the word faces. That is the correct word. I have 6 faces with each one having an area of 110. This is a tough problem too, guys, but it's good for you. So I have a top face, area of 260, a bottom face, area of 260, and then 6 faces with each one having an area of 110. So 110 times 6, 0, 6, 6. So the area of all 6 of those faces is 660. The area of the top is 260. And the area of the bottom is 260. So let's add these up. I did it quickly, and that is correct. I'm getting 1,180 centimeters squared. All right. Now, I know this is pretty tough, and again, I might not give you one of these on a test or a quiz, but I'm just saying to you, this is how you would do it. It's good for you to get stretched a little bit. It's not going to hurt you one bit. All right. Okay, let's continue on. We're only looking at probably about 7 more problems here. So, all right, now number 36 does not give you a picture, so you're going to have to look here and kind of let me help you with the picture. We're going to find the surface area. That's a rectangular prism. Now, I'm not really too worried as to whether or not my prism is drawn to scale properly, but if you want to know how to draw a rectangular prism, then just kind of watch now, and I will try to show you how to do that. Usually, you draw the front of it like this, and then you can draw the back of it just kind of like that, and then connect the sides like this, and there's your rectangular prism. Okay? Now, if you want to get really fancy and you want to, have the ones that you're not supposed to be able to see because there's a wall there, you can make those kind of like dotted lines. But either way, that's a rectangular prism. Okay? All right, so with that in mind, here we go. Now, let's take a look at number 36. It has a height of 10, so I'm going to put a 10 right here for the height. And then we're going to use, let's see, a length of 3 and a width of 6. So we're going to call this 6 and this 3. Now, you understand it really doesn't look like it's drawn to scale, and I really don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal, just as long as we have everything labeled correctly. That's the main thing. Let's move all of this up here. Okay, now here we go. Let's find the surface area. So here we go. I'm going to outline. We'll start with the top and the bottom. I'm going to outline. There's the top. Everybody see that? And then down here is the bottom. Okay? There's the top and the bottom. All right? Looks like we have lengths of 3 and 6. So the area of the top and the bottom will be 18. So I'm going to go ahead and put top. I'm going to go ahead and put BO for bottom. And the areas will be 18 and 18. Now let's go ahead and let's highlight the right and left sides. So here's the right side. Here's the left side. And it looks like we have a 6 here and a 10 here. So the area of the right would be 60 and the area of the left would be 60. So we have right area is 60, left area is 60. And now let's do front and back. So here's the front, here's the front, here's the front. And remember, students, if this is a 3 here, which it is, if this is a 10 back here, that means this is a 10 right here. So it looks like to me the area of the front is 30, and the area of the back is also going to be 30. Okay? So I have front and I have back. Their areas would be 30 and 30. Let's add these up. 6 carry 1, 2, 3, 9, 15 plus 6. I'm getting 216. Let's see if that's right. 19, 20, 21. Yes, that's correct. So 216. And I believe they said we had feet, so it would be feet squared. So there we go. Let's pick up the pace and move on. Number 37. A cylinder with a radius of 3 and a height of 7. Now, since we're using a formula, I don't really see a need to draw anything. I'm just going to say R equals 3, and your height, your H, is 7. So with that in mind, we know the formula is 2 times pi, 3.14, times r squared. That would be 3 squared plus, and then 2 pi r h. And there we go. All right. So let's go ahead and use our calculators now. We're finding the surface area of a cylinder, and we know the formula we use. And so let's go ahead and use our calculators now, and let's type these in. This first part of the equation, if you type that in correctly, you will get 56.52. And the second part here, if you typed it in correctly, you will get 131.88. And now let's go ahead and add those two numbers together, and you should get out 188.4. Let's look at the directions and see if we're rounding to a certain place. It does not say, so we're just going to leave it like it is, 188.4 meters squared. So there, you just found the surface area of a cylinder. Let's take a look at number 38, a triangular prism. Wow, this is not going to be easy to draw, and I'm going to try to do that now, but it will not be easy. A triangular prism. Now, if it's a prism, that means the top and the bottom will be the same, okay? And so I'll do the best I can to draw this. And I don't think I'm going to have a lot of success, but we will see how it goes here. Well, it's okay. But nonetheless, you can just kind of watch if you need to. I know that you might not be able to draw these, and I certainly can't draw them very well myself. But let's go ahead and find the surface area of this rectangular prism. Now, I'm going to go ahead and highlight the bottom side here as to what I call the bottom side anyways. So we're going to find the surface area. Here's the bottom. I'm going to call that the bottom, okay, or the base. Now listen, there is no top side. You see how the top comes to a point right here? The top comes to an edge. So I'm going to go ahead, and I guess I better label these sides real quick. Let's see what the problem said. The problem says a height of 5 inches. So, and actually, I'll be honest with you guys, your teacher knows how to do this very well. I'll be honest with you, I'm just concerned about y'all's ability to draw this and then visualize it. And then I would like to actually, I'm not sure if I can flip this thing or what I can do with it, but I'll tell you what, that's a little better. You can kind of see now the bottom is the triangle. But let's hold off on 38 since there isn't a picture. You're welcome to skip 38. I'll just say this to you. It's hard to see what they're talking about when they say the height unless you have it turned the right way. So I kind of turned mine so you can now see that the prism has a triangle on the bottom and a triangle on the top. Now, you know we've done these, and you know that we know how to do them. I'm just worried about your ability to draw these, and my ability also. Actually, I'm just not a very good artist. So let's just take a break on 38. No big deal. Let's jump to 39. Actually, when we get to number 41 here and a couple more problems, you're going to see that that's a triangular prism right there in and of itself. So we'll get to practice it down there. So you get a little break there on number 38. So be thankful for that. And let's move on to number 39. All right, number 39 says, okay, this is going to be a little interesting, students. It says find the lateral area or the lateral surface area. Now listen, remember what I taught you yesterday. When you're looking for the lateral surface area, the lateral surface area is the surface area, but you subtract out the bases. You do not include the bases, the top and the bottom side. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. So let's go ahead and find the lateral surface area of number 39. So please watch what I do. See this top side right here? I'm highlighting it for you. And the bottom side, see how they're the parallel congruent faces? We are not going to find the area of those two sides. We skip them, we leave them out. Because if you look at the directions, it says to find the lateral surface area or the lateral area. And so we are not to use the top and the bottom faces. Skip those, okay? So we're going to skip those. Let's go to the front and the back now. All right, so here's the front. And here's the back. Right here, okay? There's the front and the back, so we're going to put F and BA. Well, if this is a 7 right here, then this has to be a 7 right here. So the area of the front side is 14. 2 times 7. The area of the back is 14. 2 times 7. So we're looking for the lateral surface area. We're not going to worry about the top or the bottom. We just found the front and the back, so now let's move on to the left and the right sides. Here's the right side right here. There's the right side, highlighted for you. And here's the left side, highlighted for you. All right? Well, let's see. The area of the right side would be 6 times 7. So the area of the right side would be 42, which would also be the same as the area of the left side, 42. So 8, 10, 12, carry a 1, 3, 7, 11, 112. So the answer to number 39 is 112 square meters. Now that's not the surface area, that's the lateral area or the lateral surface area, okay? All right, that's number 39. Let's take a look now at number 40. They want us to find now the lateral surface area of a cylinder. And I gave you a formula for that. Hopefully you have it written down somewhere. The formula is just simply 2 pi r h. That's it. Very simple. So, first of all, actually I'm going to stop and erase this. I'll put it back up again in a second. I'm going to erase that. And I'm going to go like this and this. I'm going to flip this thing because I feel like it's really important that you see what it looks like standing the right way. All right? So if you need to turn your book, fine. If you don't, fine. That's up to you. You should still be able to see that the height is 8 and the radius is 3, even though it's turned sideways. So let's get that formula up here again. So 2 pi r h. So pi would be 3.14. And the radius, of course, would be 3. And the height would be 8. So let's go ahead and type all of this into our calculators. I'm not going to pause the video. I'm just going to do it real quick here. 2 times 3.14 times 3 times 8 would give you an answer of 150.72. I'm not sure if they said where to round. Yes, they said to round to the nearest whole number, so 150.72 is the answer. And we would round that to 151. This 7 right here that I'm drawing an arrow to tells us to round this 0 up to 1, and that would be square yards. 151 square yards. Okay, moving on to the last number. That's number 41. Now, students, this is not going to be easy to see. Please listen to me also carefully. We are not finding the surface area. We are finding the lateral surface area or the lateral area. Please give me your ears. Please listen very carefully. Whenever I say to not count the bases, just because an object is not turned the right way doesn't mean you just go with, oh, this must be the base here in the bottom, and there must not be a top side. Don't forget, when you're talking about prisms, the bases are the two faces that are parallel and congruent. Let me say that again. When you're talking about prisms, and this is a prism, when you're talking about prisms, and we mentioned their bases, the bases are the two congruent parallel faces. Do you see that? The bases are the two congruent parallel faces. Okay? So, the only two faces that I see that are congruent and parallel is this side right here, this triangle, okay, and this triangle right here. Those two sides, or those two faces, excuse me, are parallel, and those two faces are congruent, okay? So because of that, we're going to leave those two sides out when we find the lateral surface area. Okay, those are the two sides we want to leave out. In fact, I'm going to leave those highlighted, and we're going to remember those are the sides that we're not going to mess with. Okay, so with that in mind, we'll use a different color. We'll use green. Let's start with the bottom side first. Okay, I'm going to highlight it for you. And so it looks like it's setting on this side here, this rectangular side. Everybody see that okay? So the area of that side there would be, let me go ahead and, the area of this side here would be 8 times 5, so the area of this side would be 40. So I'm going to go ahead and put 40. Now, let's take a look at this left side right over here. Look at that. Everybody see that side right there? Let's find the area of that side. Well, we know this is 6, and we know this right here is 5, so we know this right here also has to be 5. So the area of this left side would be 6 times 5, which is 30. So the area of the left side would be 30. All right, so let's go ahead and write that down. Left side here would be 30. And now let's see if we can't find the area of the right side. It would be this rectangle right here. Everybody see that okay? So we have a measurement of 5, and then, oh, you know what we don't have, students, is we don't have this length. And I don't see it anywhere. So what are we going to do? Well, here's what we're going to do. Does everybody see this right triangle right here? See this right triangle? This 6 and this 8 and then this right here? Everybody see that? Well, what if I took that triangle right here, this triangle right here, that has a 6 and an 8. Oh, remember Pythagorean Theorem? Leg squared plus leg squared equals 8 squared. What a great problem. They're really making you think. We can find this hypotenuse real quick. Sure we can. One leg is 6, so we're going to say 6 squared. The other leg is 8, so we're going to say 8 squared equals 8 squared. Now, 6 times 6 is 36. 8 times 8 is 64. And then if you add these two together, you get 100 equals h squared. I'm going a little fast. You can pause this if you need to. Now hold it. If I've got h squared, no one wants an h squared, right? I'm going to finish this over here. So I have 100 equals h squared. So I've taught you guys in the past, if you want to get rid of a squared, you take the square root of it. But what you do to one side, you must do to the other side. So I take the square root of h squared. That leaves me with h. The square root of 100 is 10. So there, we found the hypotenuse. It's 10. So now that you did all of that work, now let's come back up here again. Let's highlight this right side that we're trying to find the area of. We just found that this side right here is 10. So I know now I can put a 10 right here for this length, right here, this length. And this length is 5. So it looks like to me the area of the right side is going to be 10 times 5, which is 50. Okay? So right side area is 50. So if we add all of those up, we will get 120 square feet. And that's the lateral surface area, 120 square feet. This has not been an easy video or an easy homework assignment. I hope that you have finished it and earned the 2 bonus points. If you've chosen not to, that's your business. However, either way, be ready for this material. This is the kind of stuff that will be on your quiz this Friday. If I can help you, you're welcome to call or email at any time. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day.